reasons why someone would need an ICU bed, and COVID is just one of them. So, but that's a big percentage, right? 50 out of 150. That's a big percentage of the beds being used just for COVID patients. Um, we got tons. We got lots of ventilators. Ventilators not a big issue. Um, let's see. I'm not sure how they're getting this number, like with the masks. 77% of people on Oahu are wearing masks. I don't know what that means. I don't know how they get that number. Um, but yeah. So again, so this is, I guess, part of the contact tracing, the detection. That to me was kind of interesting, and that's something that I want to get more information on. And you can kind of see like there's an issue here, right? Like, whoever created these reports, obviously it wasn't meant to be read. Not like read R-E-D, but R-E-A-D, because you can't read it because of the colors. I don't know. But anyway, I think that's like communities transmitted. It's 2302, right? Travel related, which is the second highest method or mode of transportation, 517. And then you have like the congregate living, prison shelter, nursing homes, that's 416. And then you have like a smaller number of numbers. uh, what we don't see here though is any like outdoor activities. You know, when they shut down the beaches and the parks and the hiking trails and outdoor activities, we don't see any of that represented here. I mean, there's this huge number of unknowns, so that could be it. But as far as we know, we cannot attribute, you know, any of the cases to any outdoor activity. So, you know, I think that's why a lot of people have a problem with the shutdowns, right? With the blocking of outdoor activities. Like, why can't we go to the beach? Why can't we go fishing? Why can't we go hiking? You know, I mean, it's outdoors, and according to the, um, I think, like scientific studies, they showed that outdoors the virus doesn't live as long. I mean, it could be like seconds as opposed to like minutes or hours uh, indoors. So, I mean, other than construction, right? Like most of these modes of transportations are indoor activities. So, I mean, we don't know what community means, right? I'm assuming community means like it's being spread in the home, right? Um, I mean, isn't everything here community based? Like, aren't they all part of the community? So again, like they could probably do a little bit better, be more detailed on, you know, like the breakdowns, because like honestly, like construction, gym, like these smaller numbers, that doesn't really tell us anything. Like that's just like one place probably. So it's not like, you know, all the gyms are a problem. It's not like all construction sites are a problem, right? It's, you know, not, it's not like all the fire stations are a problem, because really there's not really that, the number is not that big. It's that community number at 2302, that's kind of a big number. So what exactly does that mean, community, you know, as a mode of transmission? So anyway, that's kind of, I mean, but at least it's better than nothing, because, you know, I didn't know like they had broken it down this much. I mean, I'm hoping they'll break it down into more categories, so we have a better idea of where it's spreading. But yeah, the bed thing, the hospital beds, that's important too. So I'll keep an eye out on this site, and you guys should probably bookmark it too if you guys are interested in it, in tracking it. And it's just, just useful information, so you can kind of see. I think like if you're a business, um, like keeping an eye on the numbers kind of gives you a heads up um, on possibly when we'll reopen, and then if there's another spike in cases, if you keep an eye out on the number here, then you can kind of predict when there might be another shutdown. So, that, to me, that's kind of useful. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, there's not much else going on. I mean, I don't know what everybody else is doing, for activities and stuff. I've still been going fishing and crabbing. You have to go by yourself, according to the latest order, right? I mean, I don't know if I went over that the last time, but like you should definitely, if you're gonna do anything outdoors, like you should check out what the latest um, mandates are or what the rules are. And I think there was something about fishing. This is not it. Stay at home. There was, let's look, fishing. So to the extent applicable, fishing is permitted, but no group of 2 or more individuals may engage in fishing and gathering. So basically, you have to fish by yourself. So let's see. So basically, I went out crabbing. Uh, did the social distancing. I mean, come on, fishing is, if you're actively fishing, it's not like you're right next to somebody, right? So basically, I'm just trying to catch some ama crabs. And I have my little Oama pole, which turned out to be a little bit too short. And I put a piece of chewing gum. I remember that's how I used to do it when I was a kid. You put a little piece of chewing gum and you let the ama crab grab it, and then they stick onto the chewing gum. But I think the chewing gums nowadays aren't as sticky as they were when I was growing up. Like you can't use bubble gum. Like bubble gum is just not sticky, right? Because it's bubble gum. You blow a bubble, it pops on your face, and you just peel it right off. Chewing gum, as you know, like if you touch it, like you're gonna throw it away, it's better off you just spit it out, right? Because if you grab it, then you end up with the gum like stuck on your fingers. So chewing gum is better, and I remember using that to catch the ama crabs. But for whatever reason, like I was using Wrigley's spearmint gum. That's what I recall using when I was a kid, and it turned out to be a little bit too soft. I think they made it softer, and so the crabs were pinching it and they were like stretching it out. So it was really hard to pull them off the rocks here. And I would not recommend like you guys do this. I mean, yeah, like hanging on to the side of this cliff here, it's probably not safe. Like I wouldn't recommend doing that. Or just be careful if you're gonna do that. But yeah, so like, see, like this dude was out there taking pictures. There were a bunch of other people like fishing. Uh, that's Darren, and he was out there crabbing too. He had two long bamboo poles, so I was, like I was. He saw that I was kind of struggling with my short Owama pole, so he let me use one of his longer bamboo poles. So that was kind of cool. He had a different technique. He was also trying to catch some ama crabs, but he did the whole catch him by the eye technique. And yeah, so the other day I kind of talked about the keiki fishing videos on YouTube, and they kind of use the same technique. And I've never heard of this growing up, but apparently, like, that's a popular way of doing it, and it actually was a lot more successful. I mean, I think I caught one crab, and Darren was pulling up like he was pulling up all kinds of crab, and then like he just like dumped it into the bucket and it came off. So that was, yeah, that was kind of frustrating for me. But so basically, you have he at the end of his pole he has like a wire that makes like a Y, and connecting the two tips he has a fishing line. And yeah, that's my soda exploding on me. And so basically, the eyes of the crab are sticking out, and you hook the eye, and the eye comes down and pinches the line, and they don't let go. So that's how you catch them, and then you pull them up. And this type of rock, though, is really jagged, and the the crabs really get a good grip on it. So yanking them off the rock is pretty tricky. But yeah, here I am trying to like getting over to the edge, and there's some crabs down here, and I mean, they love the chewing gum. They were going after the chewing gum. It's just couldn't I couldn't pull them up because the gum would just stretch, and they wouldn't. Maybe I need to chew the gum a little bit longer to make it harder. But boy, I recall when I was a kid, I recall just yanking them like really easy. So I don't know if it's just the rocks, maybe they're just grabbing onto the rocks. But yeah, you just put the chewing gum right next to the crab. The crab actually just like goes at it. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna have to come up with a new way to catch crabs. There's other ways to do it too, like you can make a snare. Like Darren actually has a snare with like he'll put a piece of like taco, uh, and then there's like a bird nest of fishing line, which are actually like a bunch of small snares. And what you do is you wait for the crab to crawl over, you know, the bird nest to get to the bait, and then you pull it up, and then it like tangles up in the legs. Uh, but I tried doing that today, and I wasn't very successful at that. Um, Part of it is these rocks are so jaggy, or jagged, that if you put the bird nest down on the rocks, it kind of gets like stuck. So, I mean, the chewing gum method worked pretty good. It's just I just couldn't get the crabs off the rock. And see, like, so here's another example. I'm having to reshape the chewing gum because the crab just stretched it out instead of coming up. So you see some other people fishing. So there's a bunch of people fishing. I mean, I don't see how you can. I don't see how that's a problem fishing, as far as like spreading COVID, right? I mean, everybody keeps themselves separated. There was a lot of people at the beach, though, I gotta say. Um, because man, look at the ocean. There were a whole bunch of divers out there. There were probably like I don't know, maybe 8 or 9 divers in this one area. And I would assume, like in other places along the west and south shore, or west and north shore where the waves were down, I mean, you can kind of see there was a little bit of swells, but not, I mean, the water was super clear, super calm. There was a slight breeze, not super windy. So it's actually a really good day to go diving. And you can kind of see how clear the water is. I mean, with my polarized sunglasses, I could just see right to the bottom. But there's some divers up here. There's another diver up here to the left. Um, there's some of the catches that we got. And so, yeah, you can eat them. And they're actually pretty tasty. You soak them in chili pepper water. And yeah, came out pretty tasty. Oh, and Darren actually picked up some uni. It was the one with not the Vana, the red kind of soft uni. So the uni is kind of small, and there were like different colors. One was kind of a brownish color. The other one was kind of more reddish. And the reddish one definitely had a better flavor. The brown one was a little bit more ocean flavored. So, and if you guys don't know that the part that you eat inside of the sea urchin, that's actually their gonads that you're eating. So yummy, right? Yeah. And so here's the ama crabs. Again, it was a beautiful day, and driving down to the beach, there were a lot of people going to the beach still. Um, they have to be in the water, like you can't hang out on the sand, so you have to be actively doing something. And there was a lot of people out there. A lot of scuba divers were out there. This is by Electric Beach. You can see the Hiko smokestack here. Um, there was tons of people snorkeling, spearfishing, doing all kinds of water activities. There were a bunch of kayakers, boats going in and out. So I'm assuming like it's a 3 day weekend, so a lot of people will be doing that. Um, they just can't pitch any tents or hang out on the beach. Like normally during Labor Day weekend, a lot of people are camping, um, so you're not allowed to do that. I think the sandbar is closed too. So yeah, I mean, people will find a way to be outdoors and stuff, and I think it's safe. If you're following the social distancing rules, it's all good. And again, like outdoors, I think they said outdoors um, it's there's less chance of it spreading if you're outdoors than if you're indoors, right? So anyway, yeah, so that's what I did on my birthday. That's what I did today. Um, Tomorrow I'll probably try and go fishing. I might take my kayak out. Again, the weather's really nice, and if the water is just as nice as it was today, I'll probably take my kayak out and try to do some fishing. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So anyway, thanks everybody for the birthday wishes, and that'll be it for tonight. Have a good night, and I'll be back on tomorrow night. Hopefully with some fish.